up. Hello, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's doing good. Just looking at the Nasdaq here. Appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. Everybody who's been waiting, I'll give it just a couple minutes. Zoom my bear out here. He's a little too close. Too much bear going on there. See if I make his eyes. I always try to mess with his facial expressions. It's hard to control him fully, but hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Thanks, Zero, for asking. I hope your weekend was well. Zero, where are you located, if you don't mind me asking? What's up, Verinder? Thanks for joining. Hey, Justin. Let's see. Let me know where you guys are located, just so I kind of know where everybody's coming from. Just put it in the chat if you want. While we take a look at what we got going on here on the Nasdaq. Dubai, awesome, man. I was in Dubai in like 2000. God, when was I there? 2009? 2009? That was a long time ago. Holy smokes. Just realized how long ago that was. Man, time really does fly by. Canada, what's up, Verinder? Vancouver, love it. I was in Vancouver. When was I in Vancouver? Not too long ago. 2018 I was in Vancouver. That's still 4 years ago. Jeez. I love Vancouver. Vancouver was super cool. You were 12 back then, yeah. It was like at my first job, really. My first real job. I just went over to Dubai. Morning, Daniel. What's up? Hey, Jack. Central Minnesota. My sister-in-law lives in Minnesota. Canada, Winnipeg. I've never been to Winnipeg, so that's new. That's a new one. I really like Canada, though. I went to, like I said, I was in Vancouver. I really liked it. I'd like to go back to Canada. I was thinking about flying to Calgary and going to Banff. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I don't know which way to pronounce it. I've never heard it pronounced, but that's kind of on my places to visit list. Flying to Calgary and take a road trip through the Canadian Rockies. That would be pretty cool, I think. All right, let's look at the Nasdaq, our buddy the Nasdaq. So we got the weekly up here. Weekly, you can see the charts up here. Weekly, I've also got some tabs labeled down here. These are my higher time frame, like my higher time frame set. If you're new to the channel, if you're just joining, I always start with the higher time frames, work my way down, doing technical analysis. I look at bigger picture stuff, what's going on, and then we can move down to like the 5 minute, 1 minute, 500 volume for intraday entries and exits. But we need to know bigger picture stuff to get an overall trend of what's going on and a bias, not a bias, but just we want to make sure we know what's going on in the markets. I'll talk about the big upturn we've been in since COVID. You can see it here. I don't need to go over that again. We're now in this pullback, coming down off that on inflation and economic concerns. Talk about every morning. Again, don't need to go into it in detail every morning. So we've got this downtrend line, which we have here. Hey, SW Blaze, thanks for coming in. This downtrend line, we broke to the upside, complete fail. We've had 3 bearish weeks now on the Nasdaq. And we are looking like we're coming into a 4th bearish week. Ton of recession talk. A lot of risk off going on. I expect this to continue to fall. Of course, we are going to have some green days in the bearish downtrend. So not every day is going to be a red day. Just like over here, not every week was a green week, but the overall trend was bullish. I suspect we are going to have a bearish downtrend. We had said maybe 12,000 was a target. I did a video last week on Powell's comments. Hey, Donatis, good morning from Lithuania. I did a video last week on Powell's comments and where our target was. I mean, I can see 12,000. Well, my first target on this is 13,000. So we'll go out and draw a few levels here. I think 13,000 It's going to be our first level. It's going to be this support area over here where we had the weekly lows. That's going to break. I don't expect 13,000 to hold. I think we will break. The next point is more than likely, you might have something here, but this is probably going to stretch out. My next target would be around 12,000. I know these are like 1,000 points. It was 12,000. We can see the back end of this trend line, I think, is going to be providing support. It'll depend how quickly price wants to fall. I can totally also see the 200 SMA on the weekly here opening up. And this is going to be longer term. This is not obviously for today or this week. We're talking about like through the summer. I think price will probably drift down. And why do I say the 200 SMA? 200 SMA, I think, has probably provided some, it might be attracted back down to this level. This is where it found support during its last major pullback. Well, crash, really. This was the COVID crash over here. And we can see possibly the back end of this trend line and the 200 SMA merging together, down here. I was going to say 10,000. 10,000 might be a little too low for it. You may see buyers really start to step in at these levels over here. Institutional traders are not trying to pinpoint it exactly like us intraday traders. We're looking at specific levels, 10,043 or whatever. They're just going to buy it somewhere around in here, knowing that at some point it will, reach all-time highs again, and they can sit on it for a few months. So us, we're a little more, we got to be more precise. So that's where I ultimately see it going. So my bias is going to be bearish. Again, not every day is going to be a red day. We are going to have green days in there. Those should be seen as opportunities for me to think about shorting the market some more. I did buy some SQQQ last Thursday after Powell's comments. With SQQQ is an inverse ETF, Nasdaq ETF, which is more of a long-term trade, and I may add to it if we got a green day up, and if we broke this high right here, over here back on the weekly, if we broke over here, this is where I would exit that position. But we are bearish, in my opinion, until we break that level, and then it may want to come up. But that's just the near term. If price continues to drop, we will get another local resistance level, which will be lower down. So this is just near term resistance. Major resistance. Let's look at a daily chart, see what we got going on now. So we looked at the weekly. We've got this red line, which we drew out on the weekly over here. This is going to pop up on my daily, so I can see what we got going on there. We've got another little downtrend line here, this trend line, which it looked like price was going to push off of and then move up. And we have this massive area of resistance here, which we were trading off of last week. Well, we had pointed out last week. Some of you guys probably traded it better than I did. But it just provided a ton of resistance. You could just keep shorting it up here, and it would always pull them back. We've now broken through local support, and price is beginning to fall. Again, I think that 13,000 levels opened up. We are going to see some buying, though. Obviously, it can't just go shoot straight down, although sometimes it does. But I think we're going to see some bounces off that. But I think 13,000 is in its sights. Are we going to have a triple bottom on it? I don't think so. I think it's going to break through and continue to fall. But what do I know? But I think this is where price is going to get sucked down into. I'll leave this back trend line up right now. I don't really know if it's in play or not. I think this one over here is definitely in play. It will become in play if we break through that support area. We can see the daily VWAP there. It's this big area of confluence down here at 12,500. I could see it breaking through this and then dropping down to 12,500. Ish level, or maybe then you can see 12,000 open up down there too. So we'll just have to see what it wants to do when we get down there. So yeah, I don't quite. We've already broken Friday's low, last week's low. So I think 13,000 is the next level on this thing. We could take this trend line and just redraw it like that. That might be the smarter thing to do with it. And then we could also see if we've got a down channel thing going on. A little bit. You can see that snap into place. You can see how we just, copy and pasted this down here, and we can see how we're reacting to the bottom of this channel. If you wanted to trade this properly, you would wait for this to come back up to the upper end of the channel and short it, kind of like what we've got going on over here. So that's one technical analysis you could try to capitalize on. Shorting it back up here around, I don't know, whatever it's going to be at the time price decides to come back up. So that might be a good place to add to a longer term position. 4 hour. I did see something on the 4 hour this morning. One interesting thing about the 4 hour is, if you remember last week, we were trading that big area of resistance, which was up here. And we can see all those points that price was just pushing off of. And then finally, we had this nice pattern here. A lot of selling coming, busted through that, and then just started dropping. That was just a beautiful pattern. And I caught something on it, but not as much as I should have. So it's just kind of the way it goes. But what I'm seeing now is we've got the 4 hours providing us some really nice resistance levels. We've got one up here. You can see their price is hitting. Obviously, we had this one up here we just drew out. But we've also now, looks like, possibly getting another one up here. And you can see how a similar pattern where the 4 hours coming up, hitting, dropping, hitting, dropping. Are we hitting, dropping again? We can see here on the 4 hour how the Bollinger Bands open up now down to 13,000. Possibly. We may be hitting this spot again and then dropping down. And this might be an interesting area to take a small position, to start a small position with the anticipation that price is going to break down to 13,000. This red line again is that level we drew out back on the weekly chart. So that would be, for me, a good target. You could get, it's 300-ish points at this point. To try to take a short up here. You may have to withstand some drawdown. It's a 100-point drawdown possibly, and then you would have to close out if you got a really bullish move there. So, if you're a trader who doesn't mind those big risk reward trades and taking your losses, then that might be an interesting spot for you. I can just draw this quick downtrend. This is the same downtrend line that would have come up on that daily that we drew before. I'm not sure if that's really significant or not. Just put that up there to try to get a reference point on this. You can see here when we draw that down channel, we're right at the bottom of that channel. So I don't know about this one down here. I mean, I can point it out. I mean, the price tends to follow patterns. So, you try to identify those patterns. We had, a lot of resistance on the 4 hour here, a lot of resistance on the 4 hour there, 4 hour resistance up here. If it broke above 13,400, you can maybe wait for it to come back up to like 14,000 and try to short the top of this channel. But yeah, I mean, we just mark out the levels on the higher time frames, and then we're going to drop down to lower time frames and trade those intraday levels. So those are some significant levels, I think. Let's drop down now to an hourly, which is going to kind of be my bridge between my longer term or my higher time frames and then my lower time frames. We can see here on the hourly. Here's that blue box of resistance that we drew out on the 4 hour. The upper band on the 4 hours is going to be big, or the 1 hour is going to be big. This 13,400 level. Price. We got 6 minutes till the market opens. Price may want to do an impulse up. This looks pretty bullish. I'm going to try to get this so it's a little bit easier to read. Just go down on it. Oh, there we go. We had all this selling. You can see it over here come through. Consolidation. It looked like the bottom here had opened up, particularly as it broke low, but it's pre-market overnight session. It's not going to really move like it moves during the U.S. session. So this failed. It looks like it explored these lower prices. You can see these wicks down here. We're exploring these lower prices, and now you've got this big bullish candle on it coming through. It looks like maybe it wants to push up to 13,400 on it. I say that, but however, on Friday, we had a very similar situation where consolidation around the 1 hour, the bottom had opened up on the higher time frames, price pushed up pre-market. It looked like we were going to come up and test the upper end of the band and a nice bullish candle, same thing, and we just failed on it. Price may have impulsed up, but we didn't get that follow through to the upper end of the band like like it looks like it wants to do here. Typically, when it closes above the 20 SMA, this is a 20-period Bollinger Band. So the middle line here is 20 SMA, and these are the upper band is 2 standard deviations away, same as the lower band, 2 standard deviations away. So when you get a nice bullish candle like this, big green candle, closes above the 20 SMA, typically we're going to want to come up then and test this upper band. However, we've got a big area of resistance up here. If it fails on this, all these buyers that came in down there are going to get trapped, and we're going to drop. We had a similar situation like that on Friday. You can see it over here, almost the exact same open. Try to move this over. You can see this blue, I mean, same setup. A lot of selling coming through, consolidation, big bullish candle pre-market. This was the pre-market setup. Failed attempt up. We broke higher, failed attempt up, bullish, bearish candle, and then she drops. Same exact setup as Friday pre-market. So again, we're just looking for these patterns that we can exploit. I mean, you can see it over here. Here's pre-market today, right now. Pre-market Friday, right there. So I would wait to see if we get an impulse up this way, up that way. We can move down to a lower time frame and see what we got going on. So again, we looked at our higher time frames over here. Now I've kind of got my bridge time frame, my 1 hour, which is now going to bring us down to our 5 minute, 1 minute, 500 volume. These are my intraday charts. We can look at a 5 minute real quick, although I don't know. We can see this big area of resistance that we got marked out there with that blue box, clearly hitting these levels and coming down off of them. So that resistance for me is looking good. Now, if we got this impulse up, you can see this. You can get a bunch of buyers trapped up here, and then you would wait for bearish structure to begin forming. You could do that by looking at the 5 minutes and drawing a trend line, and then you wait for that trend line to break down to the downside, and then that would be a confirmation. You can also, draw those trend lines out over here, like on a 1 minute or here. I'm not saying that this trend line, I would short the break of this trend line because it has been formed in pre-market in the overnight session. I would wait for something to form during the US session and then wait for that to drop. But I'm just giving you an example here. If this was like, 9 o'clock and I saw something like this and then we break down with my bearish bias, that would be my place to think about shorting it. The other thing we look at, let's move over here to the 500 volume chart. We'll get a volume profile on this, a session volume profile. We are negative on the morning. We are barely above VWAP. But because we're negative, barely above VWAP, I don't know. And we're negative delta. We had delta climbing out, man. We were negative 2,000 delta just like, a couple hours ago. And we're climbing out, and you can see delta now maybe doing one of these. What I would love to see is price impulse up on the open, delta stay flat, and then once we hit somewhere up here, we start to see delta dropping. And that would be an interesting point for me to take one contract up here. Again, I put my stop. Your stop would be somewhere up here, and it's like 20 or 30 points. So just take one contract, go small size to begin with, and then you could add to it as that bearish trend begins to form. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. Now, of course, if we just start dropping down, you're going to wait for that bearish structure again to form, and you just wait for some price action to go short on it, meaning that you would wait for a pullback up and then place to short it. But we are going to wait to see if we get this impulse up into this short zone, and that would be my indication of where to get in on it. I would want cumulative delta down here, which is time and sales data, level 2 data, essentially real orders coming through on the market. I would want to see that begin to drop as price moved up into this area. So that's my technical analysis for the morning. I hope someone got something out of it and that you trade it better than I do. As other people have pointed out, my pre-market stuff is usually good, and when the market opens, my pre-market plan goes to shit and my emotions take over. So it's something I really need to work on. We can see here how Delta's really moved up on that move. Here, I suspect we are going to get that impulse up. I would not be shorting it based on that Delta move on that. So let's look at the chat. I think I've said hi to almost everybody. Set Vernon, James, BMac. Thanks, man. Hey, Desi, man. Good morning. You guys are mighty welcome for any information I may have provided you. Gotta be patient on this thing, per usual. Trading one contract. I am using an ATM strategy. Don't kill me on the stop loss. I move my stop loss out of the way, and I let the trade kind of move around a little bit to see what's going on with it. But you know, don't kill me on it. I mean, don't be like, God, your stop loss is 50 points or 25 points away or whatever. You know, it's just, it is what it is, because, you know, I don't, the price level does matter, support and resistance matters, but also I look at other things like cumulative delta, my position size sometimes like a really small position size, anticipating drawdown. You know, you could have taken this short here, but I'm really waiting for this thing to impulse up. Like, give me a strong impulse, and then I want to see delta just stay flat. We can even, I mean, here when it moved up, delta came in a little bit. One thing I don't want to do is short it here, knowing that it might come up here, knowing that it might come up here, and then I'm holding on to it, and then I'm adding, and then it's like, shit, it pops 77, and I'm like, ugh, I got to take a massive loss on it. So now we're coming up to that short zone. I would even look for maybe at 30 up here. Just waiting to see what it wants to do up here. I should have shorted up there at 20. I almost did, but then I heard myself talking about it. That's a lot of selling coming through. I don't want to short it here because it could find some support here, but it looks like this thing might start moving lower. The selling coming here on Delta is pretty aggressive. Well, we got like 77 people in here, 72 people. If you guys don't mind giving this thing a like, so maybe YouTube puts it up in front of some other people who are also interested in day trading, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, I'd appreciate a subscription. Just hitting that subscribe button. I don't want to sound like I'm selling this thing too much, but it's completely free for you guys, and you can just hit that subscribe or like button, and it helps me out a ton, because then YouTube might put this in front of other people who are also interested in it, and we can just keep growing the community. This thing looks like it's going to drop, but it's a little too low for me right here. You can see Delta moving down lower there. Wondering if we're getting through this trend line, we want to drop down here to 25. Problem with me shorting it here, I think it is going to drop. So you're like, why don't you just jump in on it? It could, you know, just hit this support, bounce up. You know, it could bounce up to 13,300 in a second, like that. And you're like, gotta get stopped out on it. Now I'm going to look for a bearish candle in the 500 volume. That's not it. See, popped up to 13,300 right there. This thing is brutal, boy. This thing is brutal. I think it's moving aggressively up. Somebody report earnings. Oh, what happened? And now we're coming up. We're coming up. We're coming up. You can see here we're hitting new highs, and look at cumulative delta. Not moving. Oh, there goes delta. If it falls back into this range, you can see we've ranged here a little bit. If it impulses back down, I'll short it here. The anticipation that we're then going to drop again. Did something happen? There's some news came out. That's on earnings or something. We didn't look at economic calendar today. Here it comes. Here it comes. You're looking at an overnight volume profile. Seems like it becomes, This is a classic buy structure right here. Big impulse up, pull back, couple bullish candles. I'm not buying it though. I'm not buying your silly traps, Nasdaq. I don't see any news coming out this morning. We can see here as price is attempting to move back up. My delta's not really budging with it. Bullet bearish candle up there. See delta dropping. I might jump in on a short here. See if we start to get some of that bearish movement we were talking about. I can see delta dropping there. Don't kill me on my stops, guys. Don't kill me on my stops. I want to see if this resistance area breaks down. Nah, it's going to go. Look at all that buying coming through. Something's going on. Something got released. I can always get back into it. But a bunch of selling coming through. Why did I put this? Oh, that's the upper end of the band on the 1 hour. But they're at 14, whatever. I like that. Oh, it's a lot of selling. If we get a drop down to 13, maybe. They're very difficult there. That's a better thing. Sometimes I always forget when I have that have the Zoom thingy on it. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to like the stream, guys. If you're on the thing, want to see me lose some money, you gotta like it. Time is it 8:40? coming right. Let's see if we're going to get through this 20 SMA on the 1 hour at 93. Take this blue box off. It's messing with my head a little bit. I think if we broke through the support here, it's going to open up that bottom band there on the 5 minute. Something to pick up. You can see that cumulative delta coming through there. Just watching it. See our prices kind of consolidating a little bit, and we see Delta trying to move up. You see Delta really moving there. Well, let's just see what it wants to do. Probably let it move around for a second. Looks like we're getting a little choppy. Took a scalp break of support there. I tried to get in at a decent price. I didn't get filled, but so I just had to get in wherever I got in. I think it might drop down to 40. So I marked out this other level. I think it might come maybe down to 36-ish. We can see Delta dropping, continuing to drop. I'm a scalper, so I'm just going to take my scalps. Which is a nice break of support. And then you get this bearish candle on a 500 volume. You just try to take it down one more leg. See what happens down here with it. Might find some support down here at this 30-ish level. You can see buyers trying to come in there. I think that move for me right now is done. Could have picked up more on it. I didn't. So, it's that. Got a 1 hour candle. I'm sorry, the 1 hour. These 4 hour candles look gnarly. The downside. And some support down there at the bottom of the band on the 5 minute. Sorry, I'm being quiet. Totally just zoned out. Totally zoned out. 37 likes. Can we get 50 likes, guys? Can we get 50? 13 more likes. Let's do it. Can't make any money. I always say if I can't make any money trading, might as well try to get some likes. Twitter news. I did see the Twitter stuff. I think Elon Musk is probably semi-close. Well, I was really shocked. I thought the whole thing with Elon Musk and Twitter was BS, but it sounds like that he secured funding and it looks like it's coming into play. I actually was thinking about shorting the Twitter stock on that news. I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't because I read something this morning. Twitter warms up to Musk's deal after securing billions in funding. Oh my God, Elon Musk might get Twitter. Guy is all over the place. Incredible. Makes you be like, man, what are you doing with your life? This guy's building rockets to Mars and cars and buying Twitter. A pop up here. This looks pretty aggressive. I don't think it's bullish, PDD Legend, but it's choppy. I don't know if today will be a green day or not, but like I said, they all are not going to be red days. This looks like the chop chop. Chop chop. You're short, you're long, you're short, you're long, you're short, you're long. Just get chopped up in it. I'm really kind of waiting to see what how this hourly is going to close over here. I mean, if it closes something like this is just the chop shit right here, and you don't want to be involved in it. You know, I don't want to be involved in it. Somebody else could be involved in it, I guess. I think most people do better on days that are trending, but you know, you can see here our cumulative deltas moving higher now. It's very bullish. To me, it looks very bullish. Others may see it differently. Others may be shortening it up here at resistance. If you are, let me know how it goes. 5 more likes, guys. Come on. I got 84 people in here. Give it a like. I need those 5 likes to feel like I've accomplished something. I mean, this is resistance up here, but that delta, if you look down there, cumulative delta, you can see how it's breaking way higher. I wouldn't be surprised if we broke session highs and continued to move up to the upper band up here. It wouldn't shock me. This would be probably a spot that I would be looking to short it, unless we got some real directional move to the downside, which I don't know if it's coming or not. So, $85. I don't know why my commission on this. Oh, you want to know why? Because I keep resetting my database to avoid any issues. Edit account. I need to go in here. No, wrong one. There. Hit my account there, so it starts taking out commissions. I only trade. Well, no, I've traded several contracts, haven't I? So we did what? 1, 2, 3. No, wait. 1, 2, 3. 3 trades we've taken. It looks like. So it's about $15, I think, roughly. It looks like it's coming down, but you could also trade this up by just trading the counter trend, the break of that, and you get this pop. You see all that buying coming through. This thing would chop me up right here. This is not my strength. I appreciate everybody watching. Again, my thing right now is that this thing just looks really choppy. I don't think that there's a big move in it right now. The only thing to really do is to short resistance and buy support, and that's not really the way that I like to trade. I'm kind of waiting to see how this 1 hour candle closes in 7 minutes. You can see here that we're just, chopping around, moving up, moving down, moving up, moving down. We've got the 4 hours up over here. Very bearish candle in the 4 hour on that one. Kind of waiting for a break to the downside, but the thing may just be so oversold after 1, 2, 3 days of selling last week, and we're at the bottom of this daily channel. It may be finding some support down here at this channel, and at some point, I said if you just tuned in, it's gonna have some green days here, and it may want to move up to the top of this channel. And I don't want to be shorting it while it's deciding that it needs to retrace a little bit and come up for some air. So, sitting on my hands, doing a little song. It's just the way it is. Nothing I can do. How much time do I got? I got 6 minutes till this candle closes. You know what I can do in 6 minutes? I can go get some coffee. Coffee break. We'll be back at 9 a.m. Central Time. This is a little good break point to see what's going to happen here. Let me know how you guys are doing. Anybody take some trades? Hit up the chat, man. Let us know if you took any trades this morning, how much you're up, what your trading plan is. I love to hear what other guys are thinking. I'll be right back. I'll cover up bear a little bit. I can't cover up bear. Bear's going to give you the stink eye. Bear's going to give you the stink. I can actually hide bear here. I'll hide bear so he doesn't give you the stink eye. Remind me to unhide him when I come back. Oh, why hello everyone. I'm back. Up. Let's see. I'm gonna bring my bear back. Hi. Wait. There he is. All right. So this 60 minute, which we're waiting for the 60 minute to close, looks bearish. The 4 hour, though, more importantly, looks pretty bearish. We can see here the 4 hour. This we've closed, near the low of it, the bottom half of it. We've got, this is a bearish candle, that's a bearish candle, that's a bearish candle. Seems like it wants to fall down to 13,000. So my one issue with it is I'm looking at cumulative delta, and cumulative delta is not moving too low. I don't want to get in this thing too short. But I just did, so it's not great. You can also see the back end there of this trend line. 90, shorted again at 90. 88. Chat is that with the 500 volume. If you don't know what charts any of these are, you can just look up here. See, they're all labeled up here. They're also labeled down here. Nifty galifty. I'm not seeing cumulative delta dropping, so I closed out on that. I would have liked to have seen cumulative delta as it made this move down. I think it is bearish, but I jumped into this because I sat down. I had like six drinks of coffee, so I'm like, woo, I'm ready to trade. Shorted it right there, clearly too low to short it. We haven't broken this support level yet. Place to short is up here at the moment. For me, possibly the back end of this trend line, or if we break this support, I'd wait for support to break for it to do something like that, and then short it again. But this is a little too low for me. I don't know what bareback means, Terrence. What does bareback mean? It sounds inappropriate. I don't know. I think we're all adults here, though. We can probably handle it. Sorry, I coached my son's soccer game over the weekend. Both my son's soccer games over the weekend. And my older one, the kids are getting like exposed to, bad words and stuff now. So I'm always like, they're making inappropriate jokes during the games. They're not like, before the games and after the games and stuff. So I'm always like on top of them about watching their language things. So I've got a little bit of the dad / coaching me residual from the weekend. Oh, maybe it's gonna fall here. Like seems like it's just trying to figure out what it wants to do. Again, just chop it. They're only trading one contract today. Usually I trade 2 contracts. If you're new to the channel, I usually trade 2 contracts. But when I live stream, I usually just trade 1 contract. Because live streaming can be a total mindfuck. And you can really do some damage live streaming because you get way too emotionally attached to the trading and you want to, win at all costs. And so trading 2 contracts is just not good. I've done some major damage live streaming, trading 2 contracts. I like to trade 1. It keeps it light, keeps it easier during the live stream. And, it's a little less stressful, but it's also less profits. So if you watch some of my recorded trades, I'm usually trading 2 contracts, so I have higher profits. This one, I'm just trading the 1 contract. So normally, sorry, I just clapped. This would be 440. And it's not, you know, retirement. You know, I'm not going to retire off of it, but $500 a day, I'll take it. I'll take it. We also do a lot of the funded trader stuff, like the Apex Trader. I've got a coupon for Apex Trader, which I think is still, the coupon is still valid. You get 50% off any Apex Trader evaluation. If you don't know what Apex Trader evaluations are, they are, what is this? It's like these prop firm. God, this thing looks like, technically it looks like it wants to drop, but I'm just not seeing it on Cumulative Delta. I'm just seeing Delta flat as it's getting near the support level. I really want to see Delta dropping lower as we get down here for me to think that it's going to break through that. Anyways, essentially you get a simulated account, and if you hit your profit target on that simulated account, you are given a funded trading account that you have to follow the rules and everything by, and it's risk-free money that you can trade, and then whatever money you make in that account, you get to keep 80%, 80 to 100%. I think for Apex, the first 10,000 is yours to keep that you make, and then after that, it's 80% split, 80-20 split. So you get 80% of whatever you make, and Apex keeps the other 20%. I'm just trying to find that coupon code. You can, you know, get you can do one of the evaluations from anywhere from like $60 to $100. You get data feed, you get a NinjaTrader license, you get everything you need to get started trading with risk-free capital. So I think they're a good way to get your feet in the door, so you're not risking your own money. And they're super popular. Everybody's doing them. Very difficult to pass. I think the pass rate's anywhere from like 90 to 92%. Or sorry, the fail rate's 90 to 92%. Difficult to pass. Here's that coupon code. Yeah, I don't know what Apex is. Oh, Apex is Apex 9010? See, you can see how this thing, you can see right there how it popped. Now it looks like it wants to come back up here. This is the area, if you were wanting to short it, I would be interested kind of in shorting it up here, but see how Cumulative Delta is really moving up higher here? Man, this is just hard to trade. This is just super choppy, guys. Yep, they've got, you want to read the fine print on it, make sure it's right for you. So Apex has got, the truth is that they're counting on you to fail, right? They are counting that you cannot do it. I've heard these things are equated to carnival rides or carnival games, you know, like trying to throw the golf ball into the milk jug, you know, nearly impossible to do. And they want you just to, you know, they're counting on you to fail it. Sorry, just took a sip of coffee right in the microphone. And Apex withdrawal rules are like capped. So I think for a 50K account, your first 3 months, and I'm just saying this stuff off the top of my head. I've passed several of these. I've passed Lilu, Apex, 1UP, and they all have got slightly different variations, and I get them kind of mixed up. But for Apex, I believe the first 3 months you're capped at $1,500 to $2,000 that you can withdraw depending on your account size. They also charge you an $85 data fee each month for your data feed, which is like it's like 5 times what a broker would charge you. Typically, like with my NinjaTrader brokerage, I'm only charged I think like $18 a month. So they're making some money off you on that as well. But it's risk-free capital. So, you know, there's a price to pay for it. I mean, you know, nobody's going to say, I'm going to let you trade 10 contracts, which on the Nasdaq, you would need 10 grand minimum margin, $10,000 minimum margin to trade 10 contracts. They're not going to give you that for free. And then, you know, someone say, well, you can trade the 10 contracts and whatever you make, you can keep 100%, but there's going to be these stipulations on that. I mean, it's like with everything, right? So, yeah, you got to follow the rules. There's some fees you have to pay to do it. So you got to pay the $80 or whatever it is. If you use the 50% coupon, which I pinned up there, you can do a $50,000 valuation, I think, for like $85. Way better than dropping, you know, $12,000 and $15,000 into an account, which is what you would need to do to trade that same size of your own capital, and then blowing that $12,000 to $15,000 or losing $5,000 on it. But you would probably blow up that account when you first start trading. And that's just the reality of it. That's just the reality of trading. You're gonna blow up your first few accounts, and anyone who thinks that they're not, everybody thinks when they go into trading thinks that they're gonna be the ones that don't do it. And I'm telling you, you are gonna be the one. You're gonna be just like everybody else. Trade simulated. Trade. The one thing about the evaluation is simulated. It's not your own capital. Yeah, you got to pay something. You're gonna have to pay a data fee no matter what. Even if you're just trading on a simulated account, you're gonna have to trade a data fee. You're gonna have to pay a data fee. So, you know, you might as well have some pot at the end of the rainbow, some reward, and it gives you some mental preparedness for what it's like to trade your own capital. Yeah, David, you're gonna blow up. I've blown up several accounts. I mean, I've been trading for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, 5 years. First few accounts were gone within days or weeks for sure. So better to lose $100. And the one thing I do like about Apex is that they allow you to trade the full month, even if you blow up your account. So like, let's say you break the rules. I think on a 50K evaluation, the trailing drawdown is 50,000 is 2,500. So you hit your trailing drawdown, you lose the evaluation. You know, you lost the money. Your valuation's over. You're not able to get that funded account. However, you still have your data feed for the rest of the month, and you can still use NinjaTrader, so you can simulate trade. You know, you can sim trade for however long until you get comfortable again. And then you could try to do another evaluation, or if you wanted to risk it, you know, open up your own account. So the other ones, I know, like Earn to Trade, like cuts you off. Like you're done. You fail, you're done. Your data feed's gone. Your thing's canceled, unless you pay. You pay again. So, so one thing I will point out. You see how this trend line here broke on the 1 minute. We had this drawn out. Trend lines are temporary. So like this, we broke through it here, pop back up. We broke through it again, pop back up. Broke through it again, pop back up. This trend line is invalid. It's not happening. What's going on in the market right now is we're ranging. So we've got the range up here. This is a range day. Range up here, range down here. And that's just the reality of it. And the way you trade this, which is not my strength, I'm not good at trading like this. I'm not going to trade it. You short it up here, you buy it up here, buy it down here. And I'm sure if you're a range trader and you're on the chat, let me know how good you're doing, because this is just an easy day for you guys to trade this thing. Yeah, David, it's what's the term they call it, like market tuition? So somebody asked me which one of these evaluations do I think is the best. I'd say go with whichever one's cheapest for you. Like, and I know that sounds bad, but not bad, but it sounds lazy. But it's just one thing. I did a video where I compared 4 of these. quote unquote prop firm companies. I recommended OneUp Trader because once you pass OneUp, you don't pay any data fees. But then, you know, with this Apex 50% off coupon thing, you know, you pay basically $80 to $85 for a 50K account. And then, yeah, you're going to have to pay that $85 again to get your data feed and your funded account going each month. So you're talking about, if you do pass it, $160 out of pocket for the first month. And then hopefully you can keep it that first month and take a withdrawal after the end of the first month of, you know, $1,500 or whatever it is you're capped at for the first 3 months. And for OneUp, they never have any coupon. They never have any promos or coupons or anything. So you're paying that full, I think it's like $180 for a 50K account. So essentially it's the same price. But if you fail Apex, during the evaluation, then you're only paying that $85 for the evaluation fee. While with OneUp, if you fail it, you're still paying that full $180. So I don't know if that makes sense. I like UProfit. No monthly data fees. Oh, cool. I'm going to look at UProfit. I didn't know that. I didn't know it. There's so many of these opening up now. That it's like take your pick. Take your pick. Yeah, see, UProfit, it's 160. So it's the same thing. I mean, it's 160 for UProfit for the account. So it's the same thing, but again, you only pay the 80 or 85 for Apex, and then you'd have to pony up and pay that other 80. So it's like they're saying, okay, we'll pay half now, right? Pay half now, and if you pass it, then you pay the other half. So for me, that's a little bit better deal. It saves you probably 80 or 85 bucks. It also allows you, or way you could look at it is you get a free reset. So it's like sign up for the 50K and then you get a free reset because the reset fees on it are like $85 or something. Oh, the drawdown is also less on UProfit. It's only $2,000 drawdown on here. I've got it up here. We can compare the two. UProfit 50K account is 2,000 drawdown. Daily, oh, you have a daily loss limit. I don't like that either. Apex, you do not have a daily loss limit. Drawdown is on Apex is 2,500, and you get 10 contracts. The target is a target on this one might be lower actually. I don't know. So there's a million of them out there now. There's, Top Step is the one that a lot of people trade because it's the most well-known one. However, it's the most expensive and it has the most rules. You'll probably fail Top Step, and then it's got, well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I did Top Step. Do they have discounts all the time? I'll look at it. Hey, I don't want to, upset anybody. If you guys have your favorite one you're going with, do it. I do not own any of these. I didn't make any of these. You guys do your thing. I'm just pointing out facts. Point out what I see. One of them got I remember seeing something about one of them. I don't know. I shouldn't talk bad about any of them. I don't really know. I can just point out the rules and you can compare them and see which ones, but I'll look at UProfit. I'm not against UProfit. Well, as you can see, I'm clearly not focused on the markets anymore because I just don't see this thing being in my skill set at the moment. Typically, I trade a break of support and resistance, but you know, for me, it's like, okay, I take a short here at high volume profile. You just short it right here, and before you know it, it's popped up to 75.50, and you're like, crap, I'm out. And then it rolls back down to somewhere around here. So it just doesn't look like this is in my playbook. And sometimes I think as a trader, it's good to know that. It's good to know your strengths and weaknesses, and play your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. And this for me is a weakness. So I'll take my 220 on the day and probably bag it. And it's only Monday. Mondays are weird. It's like Mondays, market's trying to figure itself out. Tuesday, it's like, okay, maybe I'll go this way. Then Wednesday, Thursdays are good. Friday mornings are usually good. Friday afternoons, you can maybe get a play on it, but Friday afternoons are a little wonky, a little volatile. Get profit taking going on. Other things happen. So, David, to answer your question, my understanding is that when you sign up for one of these, you have to trade 10 days, right? You have to trade 10 days, and within a 30-day period. So, yes, in theory, if you traded 3 days a week, you could trade, 3 weeks. We can see Delta here dropping lower. This is interesting to me. Delta's dropping now lower through support. You can see that over here on the Cumulative Delta. Sorry, I'm just watching price here as well. So might want to make a move back down. Again, just trading the range. I feel like I know what's going on. I just can't get myself to do it. So David, yeah, I think that you could. You could do that. Because again, you only have to trade a minimum of 10 days in that 30-day period. Actually, it doesn't have to be in the 30-day period. It just has to be 10 days at any time. I mean, you could do, it's like a subscription thing for the evaluation. So if you wanted to pay for 2 months, you can keep going for as long as you can, as long as you don't break any of the rules. Or like me, last week when they had a big sale over Easter. I guess that was last week or the week before. I don't remember. I think we got like 80% off of one of them. So I just did a 50K evaluation for like $35 or something. I just got it and I passed it in a day. Just made, I think, $33,100 in a day. Speaking of that, I have to take a trade today, I think, in order to keep that going on that account. And you pass it in a day and you just take micro trades the rest of the time, right? If that makes sense. There's lots of different strategies. Man, look at the Dow over here. See the Dow tanking. The Dow looked the most bullish out of all of them last week. The Dow looked like it was going to break to the upside. You can see it over here. Dow's tanking today. You can see that it had this a support area here. We poked through it. It looked like it was going to go, and then on Powell's comments, just tanked. See ya. Let's see. Dow is down. Russell's down. Nasdaq's down. ES is down. Nasdaq is actually the least down out of all of them. See over here on my market analyzer. Let's look at my market analyzer. While I'm here, I can clean this up. Move row. Gold contracts. I don't know why I still have them on there. I'm lazy. Because I'm lazy. MNQ. I need to take that off. Ooh, Nasdaq's popping now. That's interesting to me. Nasdaq, but the Nasdaq's been beat up the most out of all of them the last 2 weeks, so getting a little bit of revenge. It was at 9:30. Now it's popping higher. We're gonna look at the S&P. Anybody here trade the S&P? E-mini? Oops, I'm doing something else. I'm not paying attention to what I should be paying attention to because I'm doing something else. Got the S&P over here. We can take a look at its structure. This is a 2000 tick chart, which I would recommend if you trade S&P. We can see here we were in this downtrend on the S&P. Just draw that trend line, move it down here. See if you get a down channel, something. Breaking to the upside here. A nice delta. Bullish. Ooh, now we got the Nasdaq coming right up there to the upper band on the 1 hour. This would be an interesting spot to take a short. Ooh. Let's see what it wants to do up here. I don't think I'm a shorter here, guys. I'm mentally just not in the game anymore. Yeah. 100 points in 2 minutes. I love trading the Nasdaq. I told you I started trading the I've said it before. I started trading the Nasdaq because I was trading the ES when I first started trading the ES, and the ES was just painful. Oh, it was in the summer. That's what happened. I was trading the ES in the spring. Everything's going fine. And then it was the summer. Summer came around, and the ES was just painful ticking around. And I was just like, my God. I was just watching the ES like it's like watching a turtle try to cross the road with the ES. And I was watching the Nasdaq, and Nasdaq's just moving. So I started trading the Nasdaq, and I have not looked back. I just love how fast it moves. It's just, and that just fits my personality. Like I've got, like some people, not like crazy anxiety, but I just hate being in trades for a long time. It's like waiting for it to come to my price. Like I want it to be like in fast forward. I just want it to be over with. Either way, quickly. Let's get through this quickly. So again, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Got over 50 likes. I appreciate that. I'll take the 50 likes. I appreciate you guys hitting that like button. It helps me out a lot, and shows a little bit that I've got some guys or some people out there that are enjoying the live stream. So I do appreciate that. I always have a few that are like, I'm going to hit that dislike. But he told me to hit the like button. I'm hitting the dislike. So a few haters out there, that's okay. There it goes. Looks like you can see here right up here on the band, we're hitting that 1 hour band and it's finding resistance. You can see Delta starting to drop a little bit. Again, I'm not saying we're not going to have some green days here. You can see this thing drifting back up to the top of this channel. But probably not today, but maybe like on course of a couple days, we drift up, and red day, drift up a little bit, and tanks again. Yeah, David, I'm gonna trade live all this week. I don't do it. Like I said, I usually trade 2 contracts, so there is a little bit of a financial loss for me when I live stream because I normally trade 2 contracts. But I enjoy the live streaming, and I'm trying to build the community a little bit more, get people in there, build the channel, mainly because it's just like I'm kind of entrepreneurial in a sense like that, and I just like building things. I like creating community, not an entrepreneurial, not in a financial sense, but in any sense. Like I coach soccer, I do a bunch of stuff with soccer. Just like projects. I like creating things, and whether they make money or not. Trading, I like learning how to trade, and I like trading, but trading by yourself day in, day out, can get kind of tedious and boring and repetitive. And so it's nice just to try to build off of a skill that you have, and build a community around it. And so that's kind of what I'm trying to do. And it seems like some people are interested in it, so we'll just keep it going. But like I said, there is a little bit of a financial loss for me live streaming because I normally trade 2 contracts. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll live stream for like an hour or hour and a half, and then I'll jump off and I'll trade normally, like how I don't say normally, my normal size. I still trade the same. Strategy's still the same. It's just I'll trade a little bit larger size. So yeah, I plan to live stream this week, and we'll just kind of take it week by week and see how it goes. Up there at the top of the 1 hour. Yeah, right. Yeah, PD Legend, you're absolutely right. It's gonna slow grind, the flipping slow grind of the Nasdaq. I mean, it's looking like it's grinding up here, so that's okay. I'm probably gonna call it quits on that because we've broken through this kind of big level of support. We didn't end up taking any more trades. A lot of that was because, well, for one, we were ranging there for quite a while, right? A whole 45 minutes to 50 minutes, which in the market is like forever for me. But we were ranging there for quite a while. We've now broken to the upside of that range. It's looking bullish. However, my overall bias on this thing is bearish. I'm up 220. I'm not going to push my luck. I'm certainly not going to buy the top of this thing and try to ride it out. We'll come back tomorrow, do our pre-market analysis stuff, like we always do, and try to trade off some intraday levels that we can find. So it looks like we're going to come up. Again, this down channel here will be significant. What may happen is that you can see this area of resistance we have here. That may, you can extend that out. And this channel and this area of resistance may form an area of confluence where they come together as price, slowly drifts up. And then that would be an interesting level to short it again. For longer term stuff tomorrow, look, we can see Delta there dropping. Break at this support might be an interesting trade. This support right here, Delta dropping, you could short that support and pick up that pocket. I talk about pockets sometimes on this channel as well, and those are just areas that I feel like price is going to quickly move through. Pockets of very little resistance, so that would be maybe something interesting. I don't think I'm going to take it though because I feel like I'm done. I've already mentally checked out, so I feel like I'm done. I appreciate you guys watching. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, man. Check us out. If I end up taking anything else today, I'll record it and post it up on the channel. But right now, I think I'm gonna take a break. Maybe go outside, get some fresh air, go for a little walk, and yeah, I'll come back and look at it in a little bit. But that's it for me today for the live stream. And please come back tomorrow. Check us out. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe. There's lots of stuff I want to do with the community and content I want to create, but I need folks out there to receive it, and subscribing, liking, all that stuff is completely free and really helps me and helps grow the community. So, having 70 to 80 people in here in the morning is awesome. So I really appreciate it. And you'll be there Thursday. Cool, David. Thanks. Hey, thanks to SW Blaze, James, PD Legend, everybody in here. Lionel, how far do I think it'll rise? I don't know. The Nasdaq can grind up for a while. It's kind of like when your trade plan is either done, like it's done, or it fails. Like our trade plan was a little bit of trying to short it. These all looked pretty bearish, and now this looks super bullish. To me, it's like, okay, my trading plan's wrong. I don't want to buy it up here. It's way too high. Even though I can see Delta here dropping. It looks like it might come into a short again, the break of this trend line. But now this is done. This 5-minute looks super bullish. It looks like maybe it's going to break this resistance up here on the 1 minute. You can see that there. And then pop up to 13,480. It may want to come to 13,500. I don't know, man. I can see cumulative delta here dropping, which means sellers are stepping in. That could be profit taking. It could be shorts coming in. I don't know what it is. But for me, it's the move's probably done for me right now. I'll come back and look at it in a little bit. Hey, Felipe, thank you. So, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We're doing our technical analysis stuff, which I think is probably the strength of this channel. And then we'll do some live trading and just chit-chatting. If anybody's got any questions about like the chart setups, and I apologize, some people have left comments in the other videos. I'm going to go back right now and look at those comments and try to answer them the best I can. Sometimes I see the comment and it requires like a lengthy response or something that's more detailed, and I'm like on my phone, or I just don't have the time, or I don't feel like I can answer it adequately right then and there. So I leave it for me to be able to come back and really answer it in depth and adequately. So yeah, don't think I'm ignoring you or anything. It's just, you know, I don't want to give you a half-ass answer. So appreciate you guys. Thanks, Quinn. Appreciate it. MG, thanks. Vernon, best of luck to you, man. I've been checking out your videos. I think you got a really good setup. If you haven't seen Vernon Day Trades, check out that channel. He's doing awesome and great guy. So, all right, guys, that's it. I've said bye like 6 times, but this time I'm really saying bye. See ya later. Bye. See you tomorrow, 8:10 a.m. Central Time. We'll be back. Bye.